What's up, guys? It's Todd with H24 Outdoors, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about swim baits and specifically just little swim baits on a ball head. And I know that it's a very simple thing to talk about to some people, but to me, I think that this bait right here is just an absolutely exceptional way to catch bass. And there are so many times where this bait is going to crush, and it is a very simple bait that we have been using forever, and now people are using it towards the live scope things. But before live scope was a thing, ball head with a little 3.5 or 4 inch swim bait was my absolute go-to, and it still is. I've done some good on some tournaments, and this bait just has a ton of times wherever it shines, and it is just a constant staple. I'd say the two staples that I use the most would be a shaky head and a swim bait on a ball head. And the reason for that is because they just catch fish. But specifically, these little swim baits are just absolute money. And there are a ton of applications and a ton of reasons why bass love to eat these things and why you seem to catch so many fish on them. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, guys. So, like I said, this little swim bait right here is just an absolute fish catcher, and there are tons of reasons and tons of applications that I can get into. But first of all, I'm gonna give you guys my favorite two or my favorite three swim baits. This one right here is the Little Dipper from Reaction Innovations. That's actually what's on this bait. And of these three, this is probably my least favorite, but it's still my favorite of like all the swim baits. I know that there's the Whale by Sixth Sense is a close one, honorable mention, but I just haven't got much experience with it. My favorite at the moment is this Crush City Customs, the Mayor, and this swim bait just it hammered some fish for me this weekend, or not this weekend, this year. Did some really good smallmouth catching on that bait right there. We got a little lake by us that has some smallmouth and absolutely destroyed them. And probably my second favorite is going to be this Divine swim bait, and specifically the 3.2. This Mayor is the 3 inch version. However, I think it's the 4 inch. I think there's a bigger size. I've used that one too. Absolutely loved it. And like I said, I love throwing it on a ball head with no paint. I just like the silver and like just a plain lead ball head that you get at Walmart for super cheap. Absolutely kills it. I've never had any issue. Occasionally, I'll go with the black. Just I don't even know how to describe it, but sometimes I will throw the black. I couldn't even tell you really why I do, but there's just sometimes I just feel it and throw the black. And normally the black does do good. And whenever I do the black, I'll size down to the smaller one, and that'll normally be that Kitech head. But getting into the specifics of this, to make a long story short, this looks like an easy meal for a bass. And the first application that I'm going to be talking to you guys about is something that kind of gets overlooked, but when the fish are spawning, this bait does amazing. And from what I have gathered from my own personal fishing, this is not off of the internet. This is just what I've learned and kind of my, I guess, hypothesis of why it works so good in the spawn. But when those bass are sitting on the beds, a lot of people want to talk about how you get a reaction strike when you bring a bait by a bass's bed, which is true. And I'd say probably about 50% of my fish catches during the spawn on these swim baits are off of reaction strikes. But a thing that gets overlooked is that it's an easy meal. When these bass are out there spawning, they're not eating, they're not even thinking about eating. But if you, to put this into human terms, if you were pregnant and you couldn't move and you couldn't get up, and someone waved a bag of Skittles in your face, and all you have to do is just go and you get to eat some Skittles, why would you not? And it is the same way that I feel about these bass. If you're sitting there on a bed, you see a shad running around, that's just an easy swipe and you ate a shad. And to me, that is what I think goes on because I will say a lot of times during the spawn, I will throw this thing parallel to the old bank line where the fish are spawning. and I will bring it by every single one of those spawning fish. And I haven't won a tournament doing that, but I got second place in a tournament doing that. And yeah, I literally just threw this thing parallel to the bushes all day and caught a ton of fish, a ton of good smallmouth. And I really do think it comes down to that it's just an easy meal. And throughout the year, once we're getting into the fall time right now, which it is 90 degrees outside and it's like October, so I don't know what's up with that, but it is fall weather. And right now they're always singing about shad. So why would you not have a swim bait on a just a spinning reel and just throwing that thing around? The fish right now have shad on the brain. So that's another application is just whenever they are eating shad and you can just throw it around, it is the best bait to fan cast. You can just go bam, 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 and cover so much water so quickly. All right, guys. So the last application I've got is bridge fishing. And I know that it sounds also like a rookie thing to do, but don't knock it until you try it because bridge fishing has got me a ton of limits, especially in those tournaments where there are a million boats on the lake and everybody's just running every which way. Those bass that hang out on those bridges love these swim baits. I mean, you go out there, a lot of you guys watching this know exactly which lake I'm talking about, but I won't say it specifically. But there's a few bridges out there with a few mega spots on them, and you just drop those things down there in the middle of the piling, and you just let it fall, pull it up, and you just let it swim. Like, don't even move it. You just kind of let it do its thing, work its way back to you. It will get hammered, and pulling those fish up is super fun because they're like really deep. And yeah, so fishing bridges with these things is absolute money. It is by far the best bait to throw on a bridge. Forget a spoon, forget a Ned rig. Throw a little ball head swim bait on there. But yeah, all right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not already, please subscribe. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. We just hit our 500 subscriber goal, so we are trying to make it to 1,000 now. But with that being said, don't be afraid to throw the old ball head with a little swim bait because it is a very effective bait. And don't be discouraged because it's little. It catches big fish. Like I said, have got good places in tournaments off of just the swim bait alone. Like literally throwing that from sunrise to 3 o'clock. So, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Peace, guys.